recording. There we go. Yeah, surprisingly, there aren't that many people that have done social contract videos. I think I saw one by Seth, whose last name is unpronounceable, and then that was kind of it. There aren't that many people that have done social contract videos, and I was like, huh, I probably have something I can contribute to this conversation. And so yeah, I did a video on that. So, oh my gosh. Hey Danny, what's up? Larry. Oh yeah, I took away Larry. Yeah, you can't pronounce his name. You can type it. Ed, you're welcome to type it all you want, but you can't pronounce it. So yeah, like branding 101, make sure people can pronounce your thing. there's like, yeah, whatever. That's a tangent. Woo! Hey, we got a level 1 train scam thing. Good job, guys. You're gonna give me phonetic stuff? Don't give me phonetics. Don't give me phonetics. It's part of my MO to mispronounce things. If you start giving me phonetics and actually helping me learn, you're going to ruin like half of my branding. This is part of my branding, is not pronouncing things properly. You're gonna fundamentally change the essence of who I am. You don't want to do that. Then I'm just gonna be boring, man. I'm just gonna go on and be like, rah, 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 rah. I don't want to do that, dude. What was I gonna do? What was I talking about? We were talking about guns, and then we were talking about the social contract. Oh, dude, did you like all the dice sharing comments? I was like, okay. When I was scripting it, I was like, okay, I have to put as many comments about dice sharing and dice touching as possible in this video. I was like, I gotta overboard it, just woo. And like, it's a joke, right? Obviously, from when I did my Tasha's Cauldron of Everything review, where I was totally mocking the dice sharing that was mentioned in the social contract section of Tasha's. And so I was doing it throughout the video. And then, I mean, fair enough. Some folks weren't aware that it was a joke, and they interpreted it as I was being very serious about dice sharing. Nothing could be further from the truth. The people who flip out over people touching their dice, I will never understand that. Yeah. This is like the 5th. He keeps biting me. Squeaky! He's like, I'm gonna keep on biting you until you give me the cat treats. But the cat treats aren't gonna come until 7 o'clock. And I don't even know if people have redeemed. Have we had any redemptions? Or for the cat strike yet? I don't know. This video was the closest thing you had to a meme. Meme? Is it a meme or a meme? I don't know. Pickle, if that's true, then I'm taking it down. I don't do those things. The memes, whatever, those are a blight upon humanity. And I will not contribute to their prolification. So there you go. Don't touch other people's stuff. Now, if somebody touched my pizza, I would flip out. I'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Dude, what's my pizza for? Is my pizza? Yeah. We have a rule about touching my player Billy's dice, but they're cursed and it's contagious. I have a set of lucky dice. I have lucky dice. They were gifted to me by a player who never rolled below a 15. Now, he also had a wall of like pop cans and books established around him so that nobody could see what he rolled, which might have contributed to the fact that he always rolled above a 15. But I have dice gifted by him, and we proceed with the understanding that they are lucky dice that will never roll low. That is the I don't know, myth, rumor, what is that? The lore that we have in my game with my Sword Coast Guard players, my Curse of Strahd players. I forget what they're called. Yeah. Joyful Candy Cube, hello. What's up? Cat strikes are out of stock. Oh, somebody must have redeemed it. It's already been redeemed, so you can't do anything. Yeah, the virtual tabletops, you can't. Sometimes we get people rolling really lowly on virtual tabletops, though. We're doing pretty poorly. All right, what are we doing here? All right, let's start. Let's do this thing. Okay, I should do an introduction. Hello, welcome to the live stream. We're gonna hang out tonight. I have a little bit of a program here tonight. I have a few things I'm going to talk about, some D&D news crap. We're going to take a look at the new Unearthed Arcana, which is Draconic Options, something like that. I haven't looked at it. I literally just downloaded it and I was like, we should take a look at this and see how it is. I reviewed the Feywild one like a week or so ago, and then we're gonna take a look at the Draconic Options ones tonight. Just gonna read through it for the first time, give you my thoughts on it. That's kind of what I do. I'm sure it'll be biased. It'll be very biased. And there's some news items that I thought were really cool that we're gonna take a look at, and then we'll get into your guys' questions. You guys can always drop your questions because my moderators will be capturing them in the spreadsheet, which I should probably bring up on screen so I can actually see them. Where is it? 𝐑𝐄𝐒. There we go. Do we have a sheet for today? Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, my moderators are already. Ooh, yay. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. Okay, cool. All right, before we jump into things here, we're going to start out with some sleazy plugs because that's what we do around here. It's all sleazy plugs times. All right, first sleazy plug. That's not the right one. Oh, that's the view of my spreadsheet. You guys all need to nobody clip that. That's high confidential information. Nobody can see that. I just had 20 people clip it. Where was the button I was looking for? I can't find it now. Oh, here we go. All right, giddy up. It's still doing the wrong one. What is wrong with this thing? Oh, I turned it off. Hold on a second. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Why are you doing that? What? This thing's crazy. Where's the background? Orange, calm down. Orange. My cat's going crazy down here. He wants attention. Orange, what's wrong down there? All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. If you're looking for some high quality dungeon master resources that you can use in your game, things like 5th edition adventures, puzzles, traps, encounters, adventure ideas, whole slews of information and cool stuff, then check out my Patreon page. And you can get, all my patrons get Layer magazine every single month. It is a monthly Dungeons and Dragons magazine that we are publishing and have been publishing since January now, and it keeps getting better and better. And we have all of the maps in it are also available in the image files, so you can get so you can download them, right, obviously, and use them in virtual tabletops such as Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds to use in your D&D games. I have a cat that is just going nuts against my leg right now. He's distracting me. It's really cool. Lots of stuff. The idea is you could reduce your prep time, improve your Dungeons and Dragons games. My patrons get it every single month. Our last issue, the issue that's about to come out in May, is over 50 pages of Dungeon Master resources, has bonus content from the Dungeon Coach as well. We have some player options in there. We have new classes, some new subclasses, one for the Artificer, one for the Bard, and there was another one too. Monk, I think we have a Monk subclass. There's a magic tattoo system. Lots of cool stuff from the Dungeon Coach is going to be in the May, the May issue that's coming up now. So go check that out. There's a link. It's beautiful. Whee! Yay. All right. That's that. And we also need to take a moment to thank our awesome patrons who help keep the lights on around here, who help support all of the Dungeon Master resources that I create every single week. My website, 𝐑𝐄𝐒.com, has free Dungeon Master resources on it that people can use. Obviously, I do the videos, I do these live streams. These people right here, all these awesome patrons, help me do the things that I do for the Dungeon Master, for the DM community, for the D&D community, and I am super, super appreciative to them. So thank you so much. And these folks right here, here's another cat. Now I have another cat over here. Mommy wants to be petted while I'm trying to talk. Of course, my cats are always doing this. These folks right here give it a higher level. So also very, very appreciative. And they get their names read out loud. So giddy up, rock and roll. Here we go. 5E Magic Shop, Arutha in house, Beoban, Brad A, Brian C, Brand S pronunciation, Candy Sora, Chris H, Chris Y, Cody B has left the building, Heretic, Dresna, Edward L, Edward Ed R, and Dorian 72, Eric S, Fallon Goliath Cleric, Hydra Slayer, Ian R, Izzy T, Jacob S, Jake L, James L, Jeremy W, Joel L, Joshua, Josh G, Joshua G, Joseph H, Josue S, Kale S, Karen C, Kezides, Kirby, Kyle M, 𝐑𝐄𝐿𝐄, Leopold X92, Lord Kimmich, Lori S, Luke G, Mad Quad, Maelstrom, Michael C, Michael H, Munlo V, O&D, Paul B, Paul R, Penguin Butt, published author, Race W, Rachel S, Ramsey M, Richard M, Robert W, Rock and Roll Joe, Ryan, Ron H, Ryan G, Sakura, Scott C, Shady Tabaxi, Simon Snapbragger, Sophie M, Son of a Sofa Man, Stetson H, Stephen F, Tactokas, the old DM, The Pickle, Tar, Theta Tag, Tim Black, Tony M, Tooth and Nail Rules, Tyler N, Tyler R, Savior H, William L. Whew. Okay, I think that was long. I'm tired now. I think the stream has finished. Sorry people. I know you're all excited. I have no endurance. Thank you, Simpaticos. Thank you for the tier 1, dude. I appreciate that. You have a year now at tier 1. Holy crap, that's awesome. Ursa Corbear. Bear. We're gonna call you Bear. You Bear. Thank you for the Prime. I appreciate that. Everything you do is why you're so awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Simpatico says feels way longer. Is that a compliment? Is that a compliment? Yes. Oh, baby. Okay, let's go. Listen, you guys. I gave you food. Want their snack. You're not getting your snack. You have 35 minutes to wait. You can't really see them all. They're like right below me. They're like at my feet. Squeaky is biting my knee. Orange, you can see Orange. Mommy's over here. Squirty, this is Squirty Pie. You can see 2 of them. But I have 4 cats within like a yard of me, just congregating. It's kind of terrifying. If I were a smaller person, I think they would eat me. So, all right. Danny says, hey, Luke, that's a sweet shirt you got there. What could that possibly be for? This shirt right here is for my Kickstarter, Into the Fae. Coming to you in summer of 2021. Where's that? There we go, Penguin Butt. Thank you, Penguin Butt. Yeah, I have a Kickstarter. Actually, the Kickstarter is proceeding pretty well. We have all of the copy for the Into the Fae has been copy edited. Right now I'm waiting on my, stop biting me. I'm waiting on my interior layout graphic designer dude to get ready to take this intake of that, and then he'll have that. I have 2 outstanding pieces of artwork. Danny's doing a final review on the map. No, she did the final review on the maps. We're waiting on Lonnie to get us a couple updates to her maps, and those will be ready. So we're pretty much ready to start doing layout and design, the interior layout and design. And my dude tells me that'll take until roughly the end of May. And once that's done, we start printing pretty much. So yeah, things are going pretty well. It's good. It's good. Oh, Penguin Butt's wearing her Into the Fae shirt too. Nice. Yeah, some of my what do I call it? Some of the cool people that work for me and do stuff for me got Into the Fae shirts. So I know Danny got one, Penguin Butt got one, my editor Zack got one. I think that's all. Ed, I was gonna ask you, Ed. It occurred to me the other day, Ed. What's your shirt size? Yeah, yeah. I don't know if so the person who made these sent me a box full of samples, okay? But I don't know if I have, you said large? I don't know if I have a large. I'll have to check that out. I might have a large, because I took the 2X. That's mine. So I might have a large. Yeah, large is for, yeah, I might have a large. I took the 2X. I'll see. I don't know what I gave Zack. I gave Zack one of them too. I don't know. We'll see what we got. We'll see what we got. Oh yeah, we have merch too. Go check out the merch. Go to the Teespring one. I really need to update that. I don't know why I have the Stream Elements one on there. That's dumb. Stream Elements merch is like, Do the Teespring one. You can get a hoodie, you can get a shirt, you know, you get a bunch of cool stuff. You can get a coffee mug, not this mug. This mug has its own special link. All right, well, let's get into the program tonight. We're gonna take a look at the latest Unearthed Arcana. So let me, lest I forget, we're also doing a giveaway tonight. I'm a moron. Oh yeah, we have a giveaway going on tonight. Let's see, where is this thing? Where's my giveaway? Is this the right one? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Not that though. That doesn't do any good. Where is this? Okay, here we go. Whee! All right, now we're gonna turn it off though. Pause it for a second, it's too loud. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a giveaway of RPG Sounds. RPG Sounds is a, oh wait, you know what I should do? What I should do here, hold on a second. Let me pull this up really quick. You can at least see it on stream. Yeah, there we go. I am professional. There we go. This is what it looks like right here. Basically, RPG Sounds is an audio software for mostly dungeon masters. I suppose players could use it too, but mostly dungeon masters. You can put your own audio tracks in it. You can put your sound effects in it, and you can set the mood of your games. You can, there's an online audio room that your players can join so they can actually hear it. It's really cool stuff. There is downloadable content for it as well. So if you don't have your own music and you don't have your own sound effects, these dudes make that for you, and it is very, very cool. Now this player right here that I'm looking at on stream is completely free. You can get it on Steam. It's 100% free. The downloadable content is what you pay for if you want to get that stuff. And the giveaway tonight is going to be for downloadable content. 5 people are going to win 10 downloadable content codes and get a whole crap ton of music and sound effects to use in their games. So there's a link there somewhere that people linked where you can go sign up for it. And we'll be mentioning this several times throughout the stream too. So this is pretty cool. I've gotten feedback from some people who have won, who have said that it stinking rocks. So it sounds like people are very, very happy with this. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Okay, now let's do Unearthed Arcana. I gotta pull this up really quick. Let me go find my folder. We gotta find my folder where I put it. I put it in the downloads folder, so I would know exactly where to get it. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna share my screen. Boom. Okay, so this came out like last week or something. Last week, you can get this on Wizards of the Coast's website, you know, where you can get D&D stuff. You can get this. It's free. It's playtest material. So, oh, they have an app too? They have a mobile app? Oh, cool. Awesome. So look at that. Danny has used it for years. Nice. All right. Unearthed Arcana, Draconic Options. All right. Whee, look at these folks. Yay. All right, playtest material. This is playtest material. Yes. Feedback. You can even give them feedback. Power level. What is that? The character options you read here might be more or less powerful than options of the player's handbook. That should be read more powerful. They're almost assuredly more powerful. All new content. Well, I don't want to make too broad of a generalization, but much of the new content is way more powerful than existing material in the player's handbook. Draconic Races. Okay, so the Dragonborn race. This document offers 3 variant Dragonborn races you can choose instead. So these are variant races. Okay. Okay, got it. Creating your character, ability score increases. You can increase one of these scores by 2 and increase a different one by 1. And again, we're following the paradigm of not telling you what to increase and leaving it up to the players, which is their new MO. They're just gonna do that, you know, across the board. And we talked about why they're doing that, I believe in our last live stream last Tuesday. If you're interested in that discussion, you can go look at that live stream on my second YouTube channel, the DM Layer Streams. That live stream is available for you to watch. we talked about that whole reason and why they're doing some of the things they were doing. Well, I didn't discuss it a whole lot because I didn't want to get involved in a bunch of political bullcrap, which is the ultimate reason they're doing some of these things. But I did read an article where they were explaining why they were doing it. Okay, languages. Common and one other language that you and your DM agree is appropriate. Okay. Creature type. Humanoid. Thank you. Okay. Got it. Okay, I don't need that. Okay, so it looks like the first one is a chromatic Dragonborn. Okay, makes sense. Got it. It's based on one of the chromatic dragons, right? Black, blue, green, red, and white. Yep. Okay, so I'm reading through these, and basically my brain is the biggest thing that I'm going to be examining is whether I think they're balanced or not, or if I would make tweaks to them if I were a dungeon master. That's one of the things. I'm gonna assume that they're cool, and honestly, whether they're cool or not is a matter of personal opinion. So it doesn't really matter if I think they're cool or not. Some people will and some people won't. But mostly I'm looking at balance concerns, because that's like immediately when I see playtest, immediately when I see homebrew stuff, my brain is like, balance. This all seems fine. Chromatic Ancestry. You trace your ancestry to a chromatic dragon. Yep, we got that part. Granting you a special magical affinity. Choose one type of dragon from the Chromatic Ancestry table. This determines the damage type for your other traits as shown. Okay, cool. We get to pick one. Yay. Breath weapon. Okay, so we have a breath weapon, which Dragonborn all have. So this is just a continuation of that. Isn't that the same? Like, don't all Dragonborn get a breath weapon anyway? Like, isn't that already a thing? I swear it's a thing. Player's handbook. Where's Dragonborn? Races. Choosing a race? Do not talk about... Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm blind. Sorry. They all get dragon. They already get... So we already have this. Yeah, they get a dragon breath. Okay, so it sounds like we're repeating stuff that's already a thing. Are they going to repeat it every single time? That's interesting. You have resistance to the damage type associated with your chromatic ancestry. Okay. Luke, keep reading. Where? Keep reading where? Oh, they changed the DC of it and the damage die from D6 to a D8. Oh, it's different. Hungry Hippo says, everyone just relax. He'll figure it out. So it does more damage. So it does, a creature takes 2d8 damage, and in the normal one they take 2d6 damage. Oh, so the average damage went up by what? 2? Okay, 2.5, 3 or something. And the die goes up at all of these standard levels where things go up at. And is that the same for this one? And the die goes up at all the standard levels. You can use it equal to number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Okay, is that the same from here? Oh no, you get to use it more times. Okay, you get to use it more times too, so just more damage, and you can use it 3 or more times depending upon what level you are. And where is it? Come on, baby. When they come back when you finish a long rest. This comes back when you finish a short or long rest. Honestly, there's no difference. Like, there's almost no difference. Most adventuring groups are going to take a couple long rests, 1 or 2 long rests in a dungeon. So you're going to get to use your breath weapon probably 2 times, more than likely, if you just have the one of the player handbook. If you get the Unearthed Arcana one, you're probably going to get to use it 3 times or maybe 4 at higher levels, but whoever gets the higher levels. Most campaigns break up and fall apart before you ever get past like level 5 or 8. You know what I mean? So it'll never come into play. So there's little difference. As written, there's a difference, but in all practicality, there's not a big difference in the number of usages. Not criticizing that, I'm just saying that that's the way it is. Just 'cause we're hoping to compare ourselves, you know what I mean? It doesn't cost a whole action? Oh, really? What is it, a bonus action? Or does it say that? It says when you take the attack action, you can replace one of your attacks. Oh, and okay, cool. So it is very nice, much nicer. 30 foot. It's a 30-foot line that is 5 feet wide. So it's always a 30-foot line that's 5 feet wide. What did they do it in the player handbook version? It depends. It depends. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, hold on a second. The chromatics were always a line. Weren't they black? No, red is a cone. Oh, that sucks. That's a nerf. That's a hard nerf. You guys have no idea. A line is such a bad breath weapon. I was recently in a battle with a black dragon against my players, and it was so hard to get more than one of them in a line. Like, it was very challenging. With terrain, they're ducking behind things, they're not being stupid. It was hard to get people in a line. A cone, I could have roasted everyone in that room all at once, but a line was very challenging to get them with the black dragon. If it had been a red dragon or if I'd given the black dragon a cone, totally different story. It would have been a roast fest. So I do feel that if they're making it where everything is a line, that is less advantageous than having a cone. A 15-foot cone is going to be better. But again, I guess it depends on how the dungeon master role plays the enemies. The dungeon master might just have them all stand in a line. If he has them all stand in a line, then this is beautiful. It really just depends. So, oh, the metallics. Oh, the metallics all have cones. Okay, interesting. Oh, because that's the next one. Ah, that's the next one. Okay, we'll take a look at that in a second. Very, very good. That really just the problem. Okay, so min-maxers then will want to go to the metallic. Heart rate right now, I'm gonna tell you that if you are a min-maxer, if you're a power gamer, then you're gonna probably want to disregard the chromatic and go right to the metallic, because cones are way better than lines when you have a breath weapon. Now I can speak from lots of experience. And you have resistance to it. Okay, let's take a look at that one. So I think we got most of it. It doesn't take your full action. The saving throw is probably the same. Looks like it's the same. It does more damage, and you can use it more times. You have resistance to one of those damage types. That's cool. And then starting at 3rd level, as an action, you can channel your draconic energies to protect yourself. For 10 minutes, you become immune to the damage type associated with your chromatic ancestry. Once you use this trait, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. So in the right situation, aka, you know, you're in the plane of fire or pools of acid, that becomes very useful. In the right, very situational situation, it's 10 minutes. That will be very, very useful. But for 99% of your adventuring career, that will never even come into play. So while very situationally useful and powerful, it's not going to be over the whole course of the game very powerful. So very cool, but not super overbalanced or anything. Yeah. This looks cool to me. What else does the okay, so they literally just took the Dragonborn. They literally took the Dragonborn out of the player handbook and they made it better. They didn't lose anything. Like, the Dragonborn out of the player handbook doesn't have an extra thing that the Unearthed Arcana one lost. So all they really did was beef it up. They beefed it up. Period, end of story. They didn't say, well, we're gonna make your breath weapon stronger, but because of that, we're gonna take away this other thing that you had. No, they simply made it stronger. Okay, so remember at the beginning here? Remember at the beginning when I was kind of making fun of things and I said, The character options you read here might be more or less powerful than options in the player's handbook. Remember how at the very beginning I was like, yeah, almost everything's more powerful? Now you see Luke's not crazy. Well, I kind of am, but I was right about that. It's totally more powerful. It's hands down more powerful than the one in the player handbook. So with this, there's no reason to ever do the other one in the player handbook. They've basically, it's not been deprecated for all intents and purposes, right? I'm still crazy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sir Stellar, you are very correct. They say that the Dragonborn was not too powerful vanilla. I 100% agree. I never saw anything compelling about a Dragonborn. I mean, besides I want to roleplay a dragon. If you want to just roleplay a dragon, then you don't care about any of this stuff. It doesn't matter. But you're totally right. The Dragonborn's traits and abilities were not very good. They were, if you compare them to a dwarf, which is very good, or a half elf, which is very good, Dragonborn was definitely one of the races that was the least powerful. So that said, I don't have any problems with making it a little bit beefier and more powerful, because vanilla, you're right, it was totally crappy. So you are crazy, but we love you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, OG were lackluster. So I'm okay with it being more powerful because I totally agree. The vanilla ones were pretty lame. So making it more powerful is fine. It will bring it up to par with dwarves. I always view dwarves and half elves as some of the most powerful, two of the most powerful races. They're just very good. Metallic Dragonborn. Oh yes. Dragonborn with metallic ancestry. They claimed the unflinching tenacity of the metallic dragons. Bronze, brass, copper, gold, and silver, whose hues glint in their scales. Theirs is the fire of hearth and forge, the cold of high mountain air, the spark of inspiration, and the scouring touch of acid that cleanses and purifies. Okay, so you're not chromatic, you're metallic. Yay. Okay. Same stuff as before. Choose an ancestry. Magic is in a 15-foot cone instead of the line. Okay, cool. We're with it. You get the 2d8 damage. Beautiful. It goes up at the standard levels that things go up at. It has number of traits equal to proficiency bonus. You got the resistance. Oh, this is different. Oh, we have something different here. Let's see. At 3rd level, you gain a 2nd breath weapon, which is in line with metallic dragons. All metallic dragons have 2 different types of breath weapons. That's cool. When you take the attack action, you can replace one of your attacks with an exhalation of a magical gas in a 15-foot cone. Also, a 2nd one. The save DC for this breath is the same as it normally is. When you use this ability, choose one. Each creature in the area must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 20 feet away from you and knocked prone. Wow. So, given the right terrain, if you have the right terrain, this could be very powerful, but that's situational. And let's see, the DC is going to be 8 plus your con mod plus your proficiency bonus. So the DC will probably be around 10, 3, 13 or 14, more than likely. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Each creature in the area must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or become incapacitated until the start of your next turn. What's incapacitated? What is incapacitated? I'm gonna look this up really quick. There are so many conditions, I get them confused. Okay, you can't take actions or reactions until the start of your next turn. Wow. Okay, each creature in the area. So it'll affect friendlies. It can affect friendlies. Very, very important for dungeon masters. And the same thing for the one above it. Each creature in the area, it affects friendlies. Very, very important for dungeon masters to remember that, because otherwise that becomes way more powerful. So because you got to position yourself just right and make sure you only hit the people you want to hit, otherwise other people will take this. you know, that brings it a little bit down in line. Incapacitating enemies and taking away their action economy is huge. That is a very powerful ability. And then it says, once you use your metallic breath weapon, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Okay. 15-foot cone. The DC is probably not going to be super high. It's a con modifier, and most monsters have decent con. Like, especially like beefy boss dudes, they usually have good con modifiers. So yeah, this is pretty good. This is definitely a pretty good ability. It's very, very good. I would say, hands down, there is zilcho reason to be a chromatic Dragonborn. You would want to be metallic. Oh, wow. Go for metallic, folks. It's way more powerful. And you can be a good, you know, you have good ancestry. Man, probably people don't care about that. Yeah, this is definitely better. It's very cool. Is it too powerful? I don't think so. I don't know. I would have to see this in action. I feel like I'd have to see this in action before I could really make a good determination on that. My gut tells me it's probably okay. If you look at something like Half Elf, that gets lots of cool stuff. But we're starting to get pretty powerful here. It's starting to get really good. Yeah, and there's zero reason to be a metallic or yeah, a chromatic. Zero reason to be a chromatic. You would pick metallic every day of the week. Luke, there is no such thing as alignment anymore. Oh, I forget about that. That's right. We can't talk. Nobody has alignment because we would be generalizing people as evil and good, and that's bad. Yeah. Okay. The Gem Dragonborn. Okay. Gem Dragonborn with gem ancestry. Partake of the heritage of all gem dragons. I don't know what a gem dragon is because you don't have it in the monster manual, wizards. I've heard of them before. They were probably in other older editions. Why don't you give us some gem dragons before you start creating Dragonborn based on them? Where are the gem dragons? What book are the gem dragons in? Anybody? They released Sapphire Dragon? Where did they put that? Where did they put that? Here we go. Draconomicon? Was that a 5th edition? Is that a 5th edition book? I don't think that's a 5th edition book. It's a one-off. Chaotic neutral? Danny, you're chaotic neutral? Oh dear. That explains so much. 2nd edition? Oh, okay. I have 2nd edition books. They're literally right up there. Sapphire Dragons on D&D Beyond? Okay. Sapphire Dragon is part of the dice set? What? What does that mean? Draconicon is 3rd edition? Okay. Penguin Butt's chaotic neutral? Well, I knew Penguin Butt was chaotic neutral. I knew you were chaotic neutral. I had higher hopes for Danny. It's so sad. Okay. Let's take a look at these dudes. They're heirs of the ruby dragon Sardanor, the firstborn of all creation, made by Bahamut and Tiamat. In the days of the first world, the colors and mysterious powers of gem dragons, amethyst, crystal, emerald, sapphire, and topaz, gleam in their scales and course through their veins. Theirs are the wonders of the mind, psionics, the force of will, the brilliant light of insight, the resounding echo of discovery, and the desiccation of despair. Ooh. This is good writing, though. Like, I can appreciate the people who wrote this. That's good. So humanoid, medium, walking speed. Yep, ancestry, got it. Ooh, damage type. Oh, nice! Now we have new damage types. That's cool. That's cool. So we have 15-foot cones. Okay, that's the best one to have, in my opinion. D8. Okay, so all of this is pretty much standard stuff. You can use it 3 times. Okay, that's good. Resistance, that makes sense. You have resistance. Okay, cool. That's beautiful. Ooh, you could get resistance to force damage. It's probably one of the few ways in the game to get resistance to force damage, being an Amethyst Dragonborn. Nice. Luke, I'm not the corrupted egg here, or you're at least not supposed to know that. You're not? Oh, who's the corrupted egg? Psionic Mind. You can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You don't need to share a language with the creature, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language. Your communication doesn't give the creature the ability to respond to you telepathically. Oh, okay. That's a very powerful feature. It is very powerful. You have no idea how many times in my games my players run into creatures who they can't speak with, and communication becomes a big thing. So when you're able to just easily communicate with people, that is a very, very, very powerful thing to be able to do in the game. It might not seem like it at first glance, but it comes into play a lot. Now, they can't respond to you, sure, but just being able to talk to them is huge. It is only one-way communication. Yeah, I gotcha. But it's still very, very useful. Okay, here we go. Gem Flight. Oh, okay, we're done. Oh, we got okay, starting at 3rd level. You can use your bonus action to temporarily summon an array of spectral gems that match your gem ancestry in the shape of wings that last for 1 minute. For the duration, you gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed and can hover. Once you use this trait, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. So for 1 minute, okay, so you can fly for 1 minute starting at 3rd level. No, not at 3rd level. I would probably let you do that at 5th level, maybe. I don't know. When's the Aasimar get to fly? Yeah, being able to hover is huge. That's the thing. Hover, it's not just the flying, it's hovering. Hovering is such a big thing. When do Aasimar get to do their thingy bobber? Where are the Aasimar? They're not listed here. We'll have to look them up. Is it 3rd level? Aasimar. There we go. Come on, baby. Let's go. Is it 3rd level? Okay. Aasimar, come on. Show the flying. Here we go. Yep, 3rd level. Okay, so 3rd level, the Aasimar get to fly. Excellent. I mean, yeah. Aasimar's pretty good too. It's very, very good for a paladin. At least it's not 1st level. At least it's not flying at 1st level. And you can only fly for 1 minute. It's just 1 minute per long rest. I'm okay with that. It's very useful. It's at 3rd level. You can fly for 1 minute. I'm okay with that. And it never gets any better. So you're gonna find that early on in the game, that's probably very, very handy. As you level up, it's not gonna be nearly as handy. So I would be okay with that. This is very good. Gem Dragon's very, very good though. When I get something like being able to fly, I always find myself not wanting to use it because I'm afraid to use it up. And then sometimes I'll get through an entire adventure and not even use it when I could have because I'm trying to save it, you know? I would probably allow this as is and then adjust if needed. The flying is powerful, Psychic Mind is powerful. You can do the Ghostwise Halfling, which also has this ability to communicate too. It's powerful, but it doesn't seem that super powerful. I would probably allow it and then tweak it if needed. Yeah. I would definitely play a Gemborn. Absolutely, 100%. You would always do a Gem Dragonborn. Having Psychic Mind, being able to fly, and then having the cones, and then being able to do. I would probably pick Amethyst or Emerald. Amethyst or Emerald for sure. But I'm like a min-maxer, so. Yeah, that's really cool. I would definitely do Gem Dragonborn, you guys. It's so much better. I do definitely appreciate and like the fact that you have new Dragonborn options, given that the one in the player handbook kind of sucks. So I think this is good. I think this is really good to give these options. They took a race that probably very few people play because it kind of sucks mechanically, and they gave you 3 different options. They're all very good options. And the gem is exceptionally good. So yeah, I think it's very cool. Very cool. The kobold! We didn't they give us the kobold once? Didn't they give us the kobold in Volo's Guide to Monsters? I thought they gave us the kobold. Oh, no dark vision. No. They don't. That is the thing. Don't give them dark vision. You still don't have dark vision. And that is a big detriment depending upon your dungeon master and how he rules dark vision. The kobold is no longer a kobold. Kobold alternate. All right, let's see. Okay, yep. Kobolds serve, yep, got it. Yep, we know what kobolds are. Thank you. Your small walking speed is 30. Okay, you have dark vision, great. Kobold connection to dragon manifest in unpredictable ways. Unpredictable ways? Ooh.
Oh no, we're gonna die.
Choose one of the following legacy options when you select this race. Legacy options. Oh, Draconic Legacy. Oh, okay. You have advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the frightened condition on yourself. One of them. Okay, that's not a big deal. You know one cantrip of your choice from the sorcerer. Okay, that's cool. You can make unarmed strikes with your tail. Oh, with your tail. When you hit with it, the strike deals 1d6 plus your strength modifier bludgeoning damage. Instead of the bludgeoning damage normal. Okay, that's cool. I like that. You get to pick one of those. I would definitely pick the cantrip. Definitely pick the cantrip and get a cool cantrip. And do you want to know what cantrip everybody and their mother will pick? If you picked Eldritch Blast, you're correct. Now every kobold will have Eldritch Blast. Oh wait, no, I scratch that. It's got to come from the sorcerer's spell list. Okay, never mind. It's got to be a sorcerer's spell list. Sorry. I was just ripping a little bit on everybody and their mother who splashes Warlock to get Eldritch Blast. Sorry, and bards. Yeah, sorry. I am this close to house ruling that cantrips only level up at levels 5, 11, 17, or whatever it is. They only get the increased damage dice if you have class levels in a spellcaster that would normally get that cantrip. Because I have so many players that splash like 1 or 2 levels of something just to get a cantrip, and then they have it level up, and then they have their cantrip is just as powerful as a straight spellcaster, and I think that's horse crap. I'm so close to making that house rule. So very close to it. I've been thinking about it for quite some time. It's such garbage. It's like you have a fighter with 1 level of Warlock, and he has an Eldritch Blast as powerful as the Warlocks. I'm sorry, that's dumb. So I'm very close to house ruling that. Sorry, I'm sorry for the rant. An off-topic rant. My apologies. I get excited about these things. Okay, Draconic. So these all seem cool. These are fine. Draconic Roar. As a bonus action, you let out a Draconic Roar, a little tiny kobold, at your enemies within 10 feet of you. Of course, because you're a little tiny kobold. Why don't normal kobolds have any of this stuff? Yeah, because power creep. That's how we get a 6th edition, by power creeping until we break the game, and then we have a 6th edition, and then the producers can seem like heroes when they fix everything for us. Whee! It's all part of a plan, folks. As a bonus action, you let out a Draconic Roar at your enemies within 10 feet of you. Until the end of your next turn, you and your allies have advantage on attack rolls against any of those enemies who could hear the roar. 10 feet of you. Okay, that's cool. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all of the uses when you finish a long rest. That's a good thing. That's very, very good. You get to do it once. Okay. 10 feet of you. Oh, that's it? Oh, we're done. That's Kobold. Oh yeah, there's nothing overpowered about that. This is perfectly fine. What's the normal Kobold? Hold on a second. Now we have to go look up Kobold. See what a Kobold gets, what a normal Kobold gets. We need to find the race. Give me the race. Give me the race. What's a normal Kobold get? Come on, baby, you can do this. Dark vision. Oh, look at this. Oh, hold on a second. As an action, you can pathetically distract. Okay, so that's similar to the roar. That's basically similar to the roar. The grovel, cower, and beg is the same thing pretty much as the Draconic Roar. That's pretty much the exact same thing. There's no difference there. Pack tactics. Oh my gosh. Pack tactics are so nice. Whoo! That's a very nice feature. So instead of pack tactics, you get this right here. You get a cantrip, basically. Most people would take the cantrip. I feel. So you get a cantrip. And they took away the negative, didn't they? So you get a strength, a dexterity by 2. Yeah, it's not super spectacular. I would probably give you a +1 to something else because it's kind of crappy. Didn't you used to have a negative to it? And used to be like a negative strength modifier to it, which really sucked. So yeah, this one here is not, but the pack tactics are so good. You guys, pack tactics are really powerful. Holy crap. Holy crap. You pick this as a rogue. If you have a rogue kobold, you have advantage on an attack roll. Any attack roll. So that's your bow. That could be your bow if you want it to be. Against a creature, if at least one of your allies within 5 feet of the creature and the ally is incapacitated. You guys, you pick a rogue kobold with pack tactics, you're getting advantage on every single one of your attacks if you're smart about it. That's huge. That's huge. You roll a crit, it doubles the chances for a crit, which means double your sneak attack damage. If you're a paladin with pack tactics, because paladins and rogues are crit hunters, right? Paladin with pack tactics, you double your chances of a crit as long as you're not the only frontliner, you know? So if you play your cards right, this can be super powerful. So it's nothing to sneer at. So instead of pack tactics, we basically get a cantrip. I would probably go with the one that already exists. If I were picking a kobold, now that there is no longer a negative modifier, which was the big crappy part of it, I would probably pick the one with pack tactics. It depends on my build. It depends on what I'm going for. But I definitely kind of feel like pack tactics is, plus a swashbuckler rogue. Oh gosh. Yeah, if that works, yeah. Kobold Paladin sounds hilarious. Oh, that'd be so awesome. It'd be so awesome. No, sneak attack's not just a finesse weapon. It doesn't, yeah, it's not just finesse. Oh, that's true. Sunlight sensitivity. Is in direct sunlight. I never enforce that. I would forget to do that. I just ignore that. It's like, if you enforce it, it can be a problem, you know, but that's the thing with lighting. In Dungeons and Dragons, most dungeon masters and most groups forget about lighting. And lighting, you know, you're not always thinking about it. So yeah, it's a thing. Okay, cool. Let's move on. So that was, okay, now we have new feats. Oh, they gave us new feats. Wow, we got a bunch of new feats. Oh my gosh, I have to read all these? Oh, geez. Okay. Let's try to do our best here. We're gonna look at the feats. We're gonna look at the feats, but I need to take a break. We need to take a break really quick. And then we will look at feats, more OP feats. Oh, nice. Oh, they're OP. Okay, we're gonna look at the feats after our break here. We have to do a cat strike. Did we have a cat strike redemption? Did somebody redeem a cat strike? Did we have a cat strike? Okay, Amber's. Amber's, hello. Amber's called in a cat strike. So we're gonna do a, whoops, crap. I just clicked something and I don't know what it did. All right, let's do a cat strike. Oh, wait. Before we do the cat strike, let's plug our giveaway. Tonight's stream is sponsored by RPG Sounds. And these dudes were, oh, there's me again. Let's get some of this stuff down. These dudes were cool enough to give some downloadable content codes for folks who are doing a giveaway. RPG Sounds is a, sorry, I got distractions on screen and my cat is pawing at me because he saw the snacks. RPG Sounds is audio software that Dungeon Masters can use in their games. You can import your own sound and sound effects. There is an audio room. Your players can join you so they can hear what you're playing, because sometimes that can be hard. It is free on Steam. You can download it 100% free and then use your own music and sounds if you want. But they also have downloadable content codes available where you can buy music and sound effects as well. And it's really cool stuff. And tonight's giveaway is going to be for the downloadable content codes. So 5 people are going to win 10 downloadable content codes, which is a value of $50 total for each winner. So very, very cool. There's a link right there where you can sign up for it. And I'm going to try to play you. Let me see if I can play you a sample of it here while I get these cats going. Man, I got these dudes all worked up. All right, there we go. Go sign up for the giveaway, folks. And then, oh my gosh, these guys are swarming me. Oh, they're swarming. Okay, we're gonna do the giveaway. We're gonna do the cat strike now. We're gonna do this. Are they Twitch safe? I hope so. Like, those sounds that I'm playing were literally given to me by the person who owns that stuff. So, yeah, but Twitch sucks. Okay, yes, you reminded me how much Twitch sucks. Thank you. Dude, if they give me DMCAs and get me off Twitch, I'll be like, poop on you. I'll go to YouTube then. Morons. It's like, cause that's gonna hurt me. I just go to YouTube where they don't kick you off. They just demonetize you for that one video. Cause that's much more reasonable. Morons. Sorry, another rant. Oh, Dan is like, oh no, not YouTube. You see, that's how little I care about being on Twitch. Like, literally, I could go to YouTube and stream if I wanted to, and I would have 4 times the audience too, by the way. Okay, I gotta do this cat. I gotta do the cat strike. I'm sorry, guys. My Squeaky is biting me. Okay, here we go. Good gravy. They're going nuts on me. Okay, give me some space. Give me some space. Jeez, you guys. Trying to eat me. Orange is in the box. You're charmed by their personality. Well played. A D&D 3rd edition monster manual. Oh, sweet. I have an Advanced Dungeons and Dragons one. I have the Monster Manual 2 from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Oh man, such good like OG vibes or old school vibes or whatever you want to call them. I don't know anything about Sirenscape, so I can't help you. You made a cat strike spell on D&D Beyond? Really? See if I can find it. Am I able to like find it? Cat strike. Homebrew. It'll be homebrew. Where's the homebrew stuff? Spells. Nope. I can't find it. Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Email's hard. I get so many emails. Very, very hard. Woo! That's a little warm. It's a little bit warm right there. I'll check my email though. I'll see if I can find it. What am I doing? Oh yeah, it's a live stream. Whee! All right. I don't know why my stuff is messed up. The cats are going after the laser pointer now. Look at them. They're going after the laser pointer. I need a camera back there that just points to the laser pointer area. So when they're chasing after it, I can just transition to the laser pointer area. That'd be so awesome. Okay, cool. Let's plug the patron PDF. I don't know why my background is all messed up, but anyway, my patrons get every single month an issue of Lair Magazine. Lair Magazine contains a whole bunches of Dungeon Master resources to reduce your prep time, help you run awesome games. For instance, every issue of Lair Magazine has 2 complete 5th edition adventures, complete with maps designed for virtual tabletop. And you don't have to buy the image files separately. They come with the magazine. So you can just import those into Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds, wherever you want to run your games. Makes it easy for you. You have read aloud text, all that good stuff. There are villains, there are puzzles, there are traps. Our May issue, which is about to come out, has over 50 pages of Dungeon Master resources in it. And it has bonus content from the Dungeon Coach. There's a magic tattoo system, there are magic tattoos, and there are 3 new subclasses. There is an artificer, a monk, and a bard. I think it's a bard. Yeah, I think it's a bard. So that's coming out in just a little over a week, I think. It'll be May. Yeah, about 2 weeks, that'll come out. So boom, there you go. So if you're interested in getting Lair Magazine, there's a link to my Patreon right there. Yay. All right, now we're gonna go back to, we're gonna look at the feats from the Unearthed Arcana now. Squeaky just went in the box. When you become a patron, you get the current issue and you get the previous issue. So you will get 2 issues when you become a patron. And then back issues beyond that are on the DM Lair store, where you can get those. So you do not get access to everything. That would be a really bad business model. Somebody comes in, gets access to like all of the back issues immediately, and they're like, well, I guess I can unsubscribe. And that's not fair to everybody else who has been paying the whole time either. So yeah, that's not the way it works. But you do get 2. You get 2. So that's my concession to you, I guess. Can you imagine being somebody who has been a patron for like 2 years or something, paying for all the issues and stuff, and then somebody can come in and just get everything all for like 1 month's price? That would, if I were a patron that had been paying for like a year and people were able to do that, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, well, I guess if that's the game we want to play, then I'll just, yeah. So no, I don't do that. That's not wise. It's 1 extra to entice you. It's like, wait a second, I gave you $10. I don't get all the back issues? No, you don't. It's not the way it works. Dude, it's like, I bought one book from Wizards of the Coast. Do I get all of the past books that they made? No, it doesn't work that way. No, so yeah, but I give you one. I give you one. Okay, anyway, let's take a look at Unearthed Arcana. We're gonna look at the feats now. And according to Ed, they're super overpowered, so let's see how that works. And I do apologize that you can't see my coffee cup and how much coffee I have, because I have run out before. Copper Lord, you send me $5,000 and I'll give you all the back issues. There you go. Boom. Chakalaka. All right, let's take a look at the feats. It sounds like these are Draconic feats. Okay. Gift of the Chromatic Dragonborn. You've manifested some of the power of chromatic dragons, granting you the following benefits. As a bonus action, you can touch a simple or martial weapon and infuse it with one of the following damage types. Okay. For the next minute, the weapon deals an extra 1d4 damage. Okay. You can't do it until you finish a long rest. And then it says, when you take this damage, you can use your reaction to give yourself resistance to that instance of damage. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. That's pretty powerful. Wow. That's really powerful. Any of those damage types, you get resistance to them 3 times. So if you're fighting a dragon, if you're fighting an assassin with a bunch of poison damage, this is very powerful. This will help you defeat things that have vulnerabilities, that trolls, things like that. This is going to be very helpful. This is very good. This is very, very powerful. Okay, next one. $5,000. Wow, that is a major growth in value. We have some heavy appreciation. Very heavy appreciation is what we have going on here. Gift of the Metallic Dragon. Okay, you've granted the following benefits. I love how it's like, oh, look at this. We have this worthless text, the intro text. It's great intro text. I mean, they have to do it. It wouldn't feel right otherwise. But the bullet points is where the meat is. You learn the Cure Wounds spell. You can cast this spell without expending a spell slot. Once you cast it this way, because no dragons. Oh wait, metallic dragons probably can heal wounds. That'd be my guess. Chromatic dragons can't. Once you cast a spell, you can't do so until you finish a long rest. You can also cast this spell using spell slots you have. So basically, no matter if you're a wizard, whether you're oh wow, you get to choose it. Any spellcaster class basically can add Cure Wounds to their spell list, is what this is. And then it says you can manifest protective wings that can shield you and others from attacks. When you or another creature you can see within 5 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to manifest spectral wings from your back for the moment. Roll a d4 and grant a bonus to the target's armor class equal to the number rolled against the attack roll, potentially causing it to miss. You can use this reaction number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Okay, and a long rest. Got it. That seems really good. Being able to add Cure Wounds to my spell list, basically making me a healer if I want to be. And then adding a little bit of armor class to somebody. I mean, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good feat. I don't know how overpowered it is, but it's a very good feat. It's very useful. Gift of the Gem Dragon. Every warlock will have this feat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Cure Wounds. Warlocks don't get to cast that many spells. Well, that's one of the reasons I don't like Warlocks. They only get so many spell slots. It's kind of crappy. Gift of the Gem Dragon. You've manifested some of the power of Gem Dragons, granting you the following benefits. Okay, that's pretty standard. You see that. You increase your wisdom and junk, whatever. That you see that a lot at the beginning of a lot of feats. When you take damage from a creature that is within 10 feet of you, you can use your reaction to emanate telekinetic energy. The creature that dealt damage to you must succeed on a strength saving throw. Got it. Or take 2d8 force damage and be pushed 10 feet away from you. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain. I don't see a big deal with that. That doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me. It's useful. It's useful. I wouldn't take that feat. This feat right here would be very tempting just to be able to have cure wounds. Like if I were a wizard or a warlock or a bard, well, bards can already do healing words, so it doesn't matter. But if you didn't have a healer in the group, a wizard taking this would be very advantageous. I don't know why a wizard would take it though, because you'd be missing. It's an opportunity cost, right? What are you giving up because you're taking this? This is very good. This one right here, the Gift of the Chromatic seems very powerful. I mean, it's very good. I don't know. There are like a handful of feats already in the player handbook that are so powerful to begin with. You know, I can think of a few offhand that are very powerful feats. Are these feats more powerful than those? Really powerful ones? Probably not. But feats in general are just, not all of them. Some feats suck. Some feats are so-so. Others are really, really powerful. These probably are definitely trending toward the higher end of power as feats go. But I don't see them as being more powerful than the ones that are already in the player handbook, you know. So that's my first take on it. Certainly not as powerful as Bountiful Luck. Give me a break. Bountiful Luck! No, that got outlawed. That got outlawed after one game session. It didn't even last one game session. It's like, nope, that's gone. Okay, let's take a look at spells. We have a handful of new spells. Okay, cool. Icing Death's Frost. Nethair's Mischief, Flame Stride, something Psionic Lance, Summon Draconic Spirit, Fizban's Platinum Shield, Draconic Transformation. All right. Draconic Transformation, 7th level, bonus action. Oh wow, it requires a statuette worth 500 gold pieces. Okay, concentration. You take on Draconic features, Blind Sight. Ooh, Blind Sight's very good. Incorporeal Rings. Okay, cool. That's cool. When you cast this spell as a bonus action, you can exhale shimmering energy. Yep. Lasts 1 minute. It's a 7th level spell. I'm not gonna go through all the 7th level spells and do a compare. Usually if I'm trying to determine whether a spell is balanced, I would compare it to existing spells to try to get a feel for it. I'm not gonna do that today. I don't have the time for that. It's a 7th level spell. Nothing seems too problematic. But I'm not doing an in-depth comparison, so I don't know. Sounds cool though. Fizban's Platinum Shield, 6th level, concentration, and you have to use 500 gold pieces to do it too, which is not a big deal at high levels, obviously. You create a field of silvery light that surrounds a creature of your choice within range. You can choose yourself. The field the field sheds dim light out of fire. You know why they have to include that parenthetically? Do you know why they have to parenthetically include you can choose yourself? Okay? Because Jeremy Crawford gets like thousands of tweets of spells that don't include that, and the tweets are basically like, hey, it says that you can choose a creature within 10 feet of yourself, or 60 feet of yourself. Can I choose myself? And then he's like, you are a creature and you are within 60 feet of yourself. At least I hope you are. And that's it. And then the person's like, oh, I'm a creature. and I'm within 60 feet of myself. Oh, I must be able to cast it on myself. Oh. And so that's why they have to include that parenthetically, because he got so many tweets. He was finally just like, okay, that's it. We're putting this in every single one of the spells from now on. I guarantee you that's why that's in there. He was tired of all the tweets aimed at him. And he was tired of giving snarky responses. So he was like, okay, fine, we'll put it in the rules. My cat has brought me a sock. My cat goes up to my daughter's room and she gets socks from my daughter's room and she drags them downstairs into the basement. And then she's like, meow, and she tells me that I have brought you a present. She tries to drag pants down the stairs too. She'll get these big old pair of pants and she'll get them like down the hallway and then give up. Oh man. Okay, let's keep going here. A chivalry shield. Okay, got it. Let's keep going. As a bonus action, does it require concentration? So it's concentration. As a bonus action on subsequent turns, you can move the field to another creature within 60 feet of the field. Okay. The creature protected by the field gains the following benefits: half cover, resistance to stuff. If it's subjected to a saving throw to make a dexterity saving throw to take half damage, it can take no damage if the creature fails. Okay. I mean, that is really cool. If you're fighting a dragon, that is the spell you want to have. It's a 6th level spell though, so that's, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. That's pretty cool. It's a good spell. 3rd level, Flame Stride, concentration, bonus action. For the duration, your speed increases by 20 feet and moving doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. Ooh, that's very good. When you move within 5 feet of a creature or object that isn't being worn or carried, it takes 1d6 fire damage from your trail of heat. Interesting. Oh, so the idea is you basically just run around people and you run through the enemies all over the place and cause a bunch of damage. That's pretty cool thematically. Thematically, that's pretty cool. And then it does more damage, it sounds like. Oh no, you can go more feet. And it does more damage at higher levels. I mean, compare it to Fireball, you know? Are you gonna be able to do 8d6 damage to enemies over the course of you gotta maintain concentration too, and you gotta move around. So that's pretty cool. It's probably not as powerful as Fireball though. So Fireball is like hands down one of the most pound for pound powerful spells in the whole game. Icing Death's Frost. We're talking about Pop-Tarts. I love Pop-Tarts. I haven't had Pop-Tarts in probably like 3 years, 4 years. It's been a long time since I've had Pop-Tarts, but they're delicious. If there was a way to kill yourself and get diabetes and have a heart attack, Pop-Tarts are not a bad way to do it. Let's just put it that way. I like the brown sugar and cinnamon. No, brown sugar, cinnamon and brown. Wait, there's a brown sugar one. Brown sugar one. I think it's brown sugar one. I don't know. It's really good. It's very tasty. Whew, so good. Icing Death's Frost. A good sandwich will beat a Pop-Tart any day of the week. Goliath Cleric. Your new character is gonna lose both of his arms next time we play, okay? Put down the Pop-Tart. The beautiful, wondrous Pop-Tart. And you're putting him down. That's so not cool, dude. Is it cinnamon and brown sugar? Is it? Oh, okay, cool. I can't remember. It's been so long. Oh, it's so good. Do it. I drove into your giant... you did. You dove into the pool of acid. That was hilarious. Oh. Who died? Didn't one of the characters die? Oh, that was 𝐑𝐄𝐿. 𝐑𝐄𝐿 died. That's right. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. Icing Death's Frost. A burst of icy cold emanates from you in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that area... A 30-foot cone? That's pretty good. Saving throw. So it's a lower version of Cone of Cold. Okay, got it. It's a second level Cone of Cold. And it's covered in ice. Oh, wow. You have to use your action? Oh, that takes away action economy. That's nice. That is very nice. Very nice. But if it's covered in ice, it has a, okay. That's a very good spell. Would that be a third level spell? No, that's not that powerful. Yeah, that seems about right, but that's a very good spell. Because it takes away action economy and a failed save, that is a very good spell. Nether's Mischief. Ooh, an illusion spell. You don't see too many of those. That's because illusions in 5th edition suck. Unless you have a good dungeon master who's going to be very generous with you. Otherwise, illusions suck. Totally destroyed illusions in 5th edition. They're like, you had somebody who hated illusionists. They're like, so nerf all the illusion spells. So that's why, yeah. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Nether's Mischief. You fill a 20-foot cube centered on a point you choose within range with Fey and Draconic magic. Roll on the mischievous surge table to determine the magical effect produced. At the start of each of your turns, you can move the cube. Apple pie? Oh, wonderful. Oh, the smell of apple pie fills the air. I just love this already. And each creature in the cube must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you until your next turn. Oh, that's cool. Apple pie. I am your friend now. Command me. Bouquets of flowers appear all around, and each creature in the cube must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be blinded until the start of their next turn as the flowers spray water in their faces. That's cool. All right, whoever wrote this spell, whoever over at Wizards wrote this spell gets a high five from me. I'm gonna send them an apple pie in thanks because I like this. This is cool. Each creature in the cube must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or begin giggling until the start of your next turn. A giggling creature is incapacitated and uses all of its movement to move in a random direction. So you're just running around giggling? Okay. Drops of molasses appear and hover in the cube, turning into difficult terrain until the start of your next turn. Oh, nice. What level spell is that? It's a second level spell. It's concentration, 20-foot cube. Wow. Whoa. Whoa, hold on a second. Squirty, calm down. You guys see that? It's going nuts back there. Holy crap. Squirty pie. You guys just see her running and like a maniac? Oh my gosh. She got into the cat crack. Oh, dude. Totally got the zoomies. She's going nuts. So it's a second level spell. It's concentration. You can basically charm an entire group of enemies. Ooh. You can blind a whole bunch of people. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Until the start of your next turn. Oh. Okay, I was misreading this. It literally just says until the start of your next turn. Okay, cool. That makes a big difference. For some reason, my brain was farting right there. And then you can, at the start of your turns, you can move it 10 feet and reroll on the table. Okay. That totally balanced. For a minute there, I was like, whoa, that's way powerful. But it's just to the start of your next turn. Okay, so that makes a big difference. Okay, that's cool. I like it. It's cool. Oh, it's random. Oh, it's a random. Yeah, you have to roll on it. Oh, okay. Oh, very nice. I like that. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, it's powerful, but I would have to see it in play before I can make any final. And that's true for almost any game stuff you find. You can read it and you can have gut feelings about it, but many things you need to see them at the table in play before you can actually determine whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you know? Like Halfling Bountiful Luck. I only had to see that one once, and I was like, nope, not anymore. Ralthium's Psychic Lance, 4th level, instantaneous. Okay. Yep. Power from your forehead. You can utter a creature's name. If the name target is within range, it gains no benefit from cover or invisibility as the lance homes in on it. Ooh, nice. If the name target isn't within range, the lance dissipates and the spell slot is not expended? Okay. The target must succeed in an intelligence saving throw or take a crap ton of psychic damage and be incapacitated till the start of your next turn. So that seems similar to Blight. It's very similar to Blight, only I think it does more damage maybe. And it's psychic damage. What level is Blight? What level is Blight? Spell. Come on, baby. 4th level. It does more damage than Blight, right? Is that more damage than Blight? About the same. It's a 10d6, 8d6. Only Blight has a much less reduced radius. This is way more powerful than Blight. Because it homes in on the person and they have to be 120 feet away and it's psychic damage, this is way more powerful than Blight. That's a very good spell. I would throw Blight away and take this spell instead. Just throw it out. Throw it out. Summon Draconic Spirit. Okay. 5th level summoning spell. Concentration 1 hour. You can choose a family. It disappears when 0 point spell ends. The creature is an ally to you. Takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your rule commands. Dodge, higher level. Okay, Draconic Spirit. It's a large dragon. So a 5th level spell. Large dragon. It gains armor class and hit points if you upcast the spell. And I'm going to assume it just does dragon stuff, right? Resistances and immunities. It has some stuff here. Oh, you choose one of its damage resistance, you share it. Oh, nice. It has a bite and a claw. Okay. And it can fly, obviously. Right? It can fly. So you can ride it. And it has a breath weapon. Okay, that seems cool. It's a 5th level spell. It gives you a dragon dude for an hour. It doesn't do a ton of damage. 6 plus 4. It gets a bite and a claw. Huh. Oh wait, it makes a number of bite and claw attacks equal to half the spell's level rounded down. Half the spell's level rounded down. So that's at least 2. At 5th level, it would be 2 of them. At 6th level, it'd be 3. I like how they simplified it a little bit. So it doesn't take as long as in combat. It's just, you'd get a certain number of attacks or a breath weapon. Oh no! It says it uses its breath weapon and it makes the bite and claw attacks. Okay, so that's very nice. That's very, very nice. I don't know. That seems pretty powerful. I would have to compare. I would have to look up other summoning spells and compare it, but my gut tells me that there are other summoning spells that are very nice, that are pretty good too. So here's the thing though. What I like about the new paradigm that they have of summoning spells, there are new types of summoning spells that are coming out. Summon one creature that is beefier. And anybody who's been in a game with somebody who's summoned like 8 creatures, it bogs the whole game down. It's just it's unsightly. It's a mess. So the fact that we now have just summoning spells where you summon one creature and it gets more powerful based upon the higher levels you summon it at or you cast it at or whatever, I really like that because it doesn't bog the game down as much. And obviously the creature's gonna be more powerful. So yeah, I would have to see this in play before I could probably make a determination on how powerful it is. And you could theoretically have this dude with you for the entire hour. You could almost get through the whole dungeon maybe if you booked it and didn't take a short rest. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay, there we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got through all of the Unearthed Arcana and final determinations. It's very nice. The feats are all really powerful. I love that you have the new options for Dragonborn because vanilla Dragonborn was kind of crappy. The new Kobold, I actually think the old Kobold is better because of pack tactics, but the new Kobold gives you options if you want them. If you didn't care for pack tactics, you could get a cantrip. And then we had the feats were all powerful. Of course, feats are always powerful. And the spells seemed cool. There was one of them, I think that summoning one, probably I was like, who knows? That might be a little powerful, but I wouldn't really know until I played it. The other spells seemed fairly balanced, but cool. I liked them. They were pretty cool. So overall, I think I have a pretty favorable impression of this Unearthed Arcana. It looks pretty cool. I would probably allow most of it, all of it, in my game as is, and then make tweaks as needed. But there weren't any big, huge red flags, in my opinion. Nothing that was like, whoa, what the heck? You know what I mean? So, yep, there you go. Bingo, bango. All of my regular kobolds will have Firebolt now. Oh, that's what you were saying. That's what you were saying, Ed. Why don't normal kobolds out of the monster manual get a cantrip? Oh, now I get you. Now I get you. Because I saw that comment before, and now I understand it. Yep. Every single kobold is gonna have Firebolt now. Penguin Butt's like, whoa, Luke liked it out of the box. I'm not unreasonable, Penguin Butt. If you give me something like Tasha's that has tons of overpowered stuff, OP stuff, then you can expect me to freak out over it. If you give me something reasonable, like what we just looked at, then I'm gonna give you a reasonable reaction to it, you know? But if you give me crap that's crazy, I'm gonna freak out, you know? All right, that's cool. I like that. Let's do our giveaway really quick here. Tonight's stream is sponsored by RPG Sounds. RPG Sounds is audio software that you can get for free on Steam, and it allows you to import your own music and sound effects and play them to your players. It has an online room that your players can join so they can hear the sounds, and they have downloadable content. So if you don't have your own music, don't have your own sound effects, you can get it from them. Tonight's winners will get 5. There'll be 5 winners tonight, and each of them will get 10 downloadable content codes to get music and sound effects to use in their games. This right here is just kind of like, this is the interface and stuff. They have the mixer, the presets, they have the sound effect pad, and you can import your stuff and put all your stuff in here. It's pretty cool. As I said, it's free on Steam, and the downloadable content will give you music and sound effects you can use in your games. So it's very, very cool. Danny, my director of operations, who does most of the work around here, she's been using it for years, and she loves that thing. So there you go. If Dan wins again, Dan will not win again. How could Dan possibly win again? I don't even recognize those letters. So go sign up for that. And I wanted to look at, see what I had some other news items I wanted to take a look at, but we're gonna should I just let's see if we can blaze through these things really quick here, because I want to get to the Q&A. We're gonna get to the Q&A here, but I had some quick news items I thought were really cool. Mystera, you guys, Mystera is going to be released as a source book. It's very cool. I'm going to put a link to that right there, so you guys can go check that out. I thought this was really cool. Apparently, Jeff Grubb made this project and it never got published. And now Wizards is going to let them publish it. They're giving them the go-ahead to go ahead and publish this thing. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, cool. We're going to get Mystera. And then the other one I had here, there is going to be a box set for, what was it? Ravenloft. Apparently they have this big box set that they do where there's a whole bunch of cool stuff in the Ravenloft box set. I don't know if that is, yeah, there's a bunch of crap that'll come in it. So I'm tempted to try and see what this is like. I've never gotten one of these deluxe box sets before, and I don't know what they really include. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if I would want the actual source book or if I want a box set. I know I need the alternate cover though. Has anybody ever gotten the box set before? Are these things any good, or do they suck? Has anybody ever gotten one of those? I found another thing on here that I thought was pretty cool. Apparently they break the book up into smaller books. It doesn't sound like it includes the book itself. Oh, I don't know that I would want the book broken up into smaller books. I don't know if I'd like that. Yeah, it's very expensive. It's very expensive. Okay, I found this right here, you guys. I wanted to share this. I thought this was pretty cool. This is a free RPG where you can play as the monsters. It's called Wicked Ones. Apparently this is free on DriveThruRPG, and it allows the players to play as the monsters, and they're defending their lair from adventurers that are breaking into their lair. So it reverses the roles completely. I don't know how, it might be cool. I don't know, who knows, but it's free. And I thought the concept was pretty cool. So I just wanted to share it with you guys really quick. So yeah. We're gonna save the fake D&D homebrew classes for next time, because we need to get into the Q&A, because lots of folks were like, Luke, answer my questions. So we're gonna do that now. Okay, cool. Who had questions? Out of curiosity, how large is the room you are streaming in? On stream, it looks as big as my entire flat. It's pretty big. I probably have about 20 feet that way. I would say 20 feet. And 25 feet, maybe 25 feet that way. I probably have about 25 feet that way. So it's about 25 by 25. How many square feet is that? Can anybody do math? How many square feet is 25 by 25? Does anybody know? I'm not good at math. That's how big it is. 625. Okay, so I have a 625 feet area of my basement. That's like half of my basement that I use as a streaming area, and my couch that my cats sit in. So my players are asking for battle maps, but I can't really cope with the time I have to put into the amount of maps I have to make if it would make a difference in our type of game. How would you handle a situation like that? Well, you got two options. One, you go onto Google and you just grab maps and you put them in Roll20. Two, you subscribe to someone's Patreon who makes maps. Like the Mad Cartographer, for instance, makes tons of maps. So if you become a patron of his, you can get maps. There are probably other people also that make maps, and they'll give you battle maps that you could use in your games. A lot of times what I do is I will get the map first and I will create the dungeon based on the map. It's a very legitimate way to create dungeons based upon a pre-existing map. So that's what you could do to not have to make your own battle maps. You could also become a patron of mine and get the Layer magazine, which comes with adventures and the maps that go with them. So that's another option, but you're not exactly asking for adventures, you just want the maps. So if you just want maps, your best bet is either Google or to become a patron of somebody who exclusively creates maps, like the Mad Cartographer. Hey Luke, from your Youngling TPK narrative, do you feel there was anything as a GM you could have done better as a GM during that dungeon? Were they TPK'd? Is there anything that I could have done better as a dungeon master? It's been so long. It's been so long. They TPK'd because they weren't working together as a group, and the two girls were trying to convince the bad guy. They had just a harebrained idea that wasn't going to work. I don't remember enough of that to know if there's. I don't know. Who knows? Everybody was trying to convince them. The other two players were trying to convince them to work as the group. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not going to give them hints though. Like if they're in the middle of a battle or something, they're old enough. I mean, they're old enough that they don't need me telling them hints and stuff. So that TPK happened and it was a well-deserved one, and I wouldn't take it back. They learned a lot from it. So that's my answer. One of my players told me a week before the session that he wouldn't make it and that I could NPC his PC. He made it easy to do just in case, but the rest of the group want to wait for this player, even though we are more than enough to play 4 out of 5. Am I being too soft by letting them delay the session, or should I make them play? I mean, I tell you what I do. I'm not skipping the game session because somebody can't make it. We're going to play the game. I'm not going to play those games. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to skip a game session because one player can't make the game. That's how death spirals happen. That's how groups fall apart, man. And then once you get into that habit, every time somebody can't make the game session, you skip the game, and then people are missing all the time, and then you're not playing the game. So what would Luke do? I'm playing the game. One person can't be there. It sucks that he has to miss out. But for everybody to miss out on D&D because one person can't make it? No, man, come on. Especially when, I don't know, dude. No, I would play the game. You got 4 out of 5. I'm playing the game. I'm playing it. I understand why they want to play. They don't want them to miss. Sometimes they don't want the other person to miss out. Sometimes they just want to have the character there so that they can like have a better chance of winning against the dragon or something. You know, I'm gonna play the game. But that's just what I do. It doesn't matter. It's like, but still, it's, you know, it's your choice. I'm just telling you what I would do based on my experience. But you're not wrong to skip the game session. Just be aware that is a slippery slope that many groups go down, and sometimes they never recover from it because the next thing you know, they're not playing very often because they find out that there's always somebody who can't make the game, and you're always skipping the game because somebody can't make it. So just be aware it's a slippery slope. But if it's a once in a great while occurrence, then probably not a big deal. You just got to be careful about that, you know? I don't know anything about Tomb of Annihilation, so I can't really answer any questions. I just want to ask how you handle players who want to craft stuff like magic weapons. I don't really do that a whole lot at all. My table dislikes the official rules because you need like a year of downtime. Yes, because it's powerful. To be able to make your own magic weapons, it should take time. I would listen, there are rules in Xanathar's, I'm pretty sure there are, for downtime in crafting your own magic weapons. I would just follow those rules. If my players don't like the rules, sorry. But I'm not gonna make this easy for you. Players always want more power. Most players always want more power. It's all empty. You can see that. There's the coffee cam. Did anybody warn me? 1 short rest equals 1 legendary magic item. Oh man, you're gonna give me, I'm gonna freak out over here. Me DM. Group not play for almost 2 months due to being busy. That's the spiral of death. I kind of can't remember what we were doing, and I don't know if I'm even that interested in the campaign anymore. What do? I like the players, but I don't think I'm invested in the specific story anymore. Baby DM's first campaign versus Unplanned and Chaotic. Okay. There needs to be a balance between continuity of the game that you're running and like running something that you're interested in. Because here are the extremes. So there are two extremes. The one extreme is I am miserable in this campaign, but I committed to it and I am running this campaign. We are doing this campaign. My players don't like the campaign, but we said we were going to run it and we are going to run this campaign. We're going to finish it because yes, that's this extreme. Here's the other extreme. You know, we started the campaign like a week ago, but I'm kind of losing interest already. And I don't want to run a campaign that I'm not interested in. So let's change the other let's make a new campaign. And then like, you know, a few weeks later, a couple of the players are like, you know, we kind of don't like the campaign anymore. Could we do something different? You know, it's getting a little bit old, you know. So those are the two extremes. There's we're running it and we're never changing no matter how much we hate it. And then there's I'm losing interest, I want to change, and then you're constantly changing what you're doing because you won't stick to any one thing. That is reprehensible, and the other extreme is probably equally reprehensible. So you don't want to be either of those things, okay? Either extreme is bad. Somewhere in the middle somewhere is where you want to be. You want to have some commitment to the campaign that you're running because you can't just be swapping it and changing it every 5 seconds. Your players will murderize you at the very least. But you also don't want to just be miserable running a campaign you hate either. So I don't know where you lie on that spectrum. If you guys haven't played for almost a couple months, maybe it's a good time for a reboot. You could do that. I would also, you didn't really ask about this, but I would also consider finding people who aren't as busy. I don't know if it was you who were too busy to run the game or if it's your players who are too busy, but you might consider trying to find folks who are actually available to run the game. Because the unfortunate truth is that if a person is too busy to play the game, he is too busy to be one of your players. What are you going to do? You know, so you might also consider trying to find people who are more available to actually play the game. But you know, you can reboot at your discretion. Just keep in mind the two extremes and being careful not to fall into either one of them because both are bad. You run it for your brothers and sisters. This is why I run games for strangers. Makes my life easier. This is why I run games for strangers. I mean, we usually become friends, but this is why. I don't have to deal with these moral dilemmas. I don't. So I don't think I can help you. Let's go to the next one. Keep the questions coming too, by the way. Any tips on running a murder mystery one-shot? Nope, I sure don't. I would go by Candlekeep Mysteries because that is full of mysteries. I don't run a whole bunch of mysteries. I just don't. They are not. I don't like mystery. No, I do kind of like mysteries because Call of Cthulhu is a lot of mystery, and I really like Call of Cthulhu. So I think that I do like mysteries, but I don't run mystery type games very often. So I don't have a lot of experience making those adventures. So because I don't do it myself a lot and don't have a lot of experience, it makes it very hard for me to give you advice on how to do it, you know? So I really don't have a whole lot for you on murder mysteries. Like other than making sure there are clues the players just find by checking out places and placing some combat encounters, do you have any tips or tricks? No, I don't really do them a whole lot, sorry. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I'm the wrong DM for you, or to answer that question. Eric from Phoenix. How do you handle player casted area of effects? Probably however the spell says it should be handled. Can other players take damage? Yeah, absolutely. It depends on the spell's description. Fireball, everybody takes damage. Hypnotic pattern, everybody is affected. It depends on the spell's description, 100%. My wife, Cleric, complained as to how I was handling during our Saturday. Eric, what spell were you casting? If you're still here, what spell were you casting? I don't know if he's still here or not. Probably not. All right. Oh, I'm out of coffee. I am out of coffee. I should go get some coffee. We should do a cat strike. It's time to do a cat strike. Let's do a cat strike. And then we'll do some more questions. This is our cat strike right here. This is 100% pure cat crack, also known as catnip. Thank you. Yes, Squeaky. We have to get your toy though. Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Where's the happy carrot? I got the banana. Where's the carrot? I got these guys a brand new toy called the Happy Carrot. And I can't find it now. They were playing with that thing. They really liked it. All right. Oh, we gotta change the camera. This does smell good. Yes, Squeaky. All right. I'm gonna leave you with him. I'll be right back. I found the happy carrot. There we go. The happy carrot. Oh, my coffee. Oh, baby. All right. Let's keep going. All right. I have a large group of 8 players, some of whom don't care as much about rule mechanics. That happens. Are there just to have fun and be silly and fantastic, and others who do much more hardcore gamer types. Our whole table is just trying to have fun and laugh, but sometimes the requests can be near ridiculous and potentially too powerful, beyond the scope of realism and the written rules. How should a DM approach situations with players trying to do very extravagant actions that may be stretching the rules to the point of questionable or even ridiculous, but potentially awesome, while other players are trying to stay more realistic? So far, no one has had any issues. Everyone has fun and laughs together so far. I feel like this is me personally. So there are 2 ways to look at it. The first way to look at it is probably how I, as a dungeon master, want the game to feel. You know, am I looking for more of the heroic slapstick, you know, just crazy awesomeness? Is that the feel I'm going for? Is that what I want to encourage? Or do I want it to be a little bit more realistic and gritty? It really just depends on what I'm going for, because there's the spectrums. You have super gritty realism, and then you have high heroics, where things can approach being ridiculous. And there's a spectrum, and then where does your game lie along that spectrum? So what are you going for as a dungeon master? What do you want as a dungeon master? That's one thing to consider. I am probably somewhere in the middle. I want things to be kind of quasi-realistic in so much as games go, but I also want people to be able to do heroic stuff. Once we get too crazy in heroics, I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. If we get too gritty realistic, then you're like tracking encumbrance and stupid crap, and it's like, no, that's stupid too. This is a game, let's have fun, right? So I'm probably somewhere in the middle there. It depends on where you lie on that spectrum and how you want your game to be. And I feel that is ultimately a question each dungeon master can make for themselves and probably should have an answer for, and how they want to run their game, you know? The second way to look at it is your players. You know, what do your players want? And then trying to find a balance that helps them to enjoy the game, you know, to the maximum extent possible. Now you have players on both sides of the spectrum. You're gonna have ones that want to be like all high heroics, and you have others who want more of the realistic thing. So you want to average somewhere in the middle, so people are mostly satisfied. But every so often, you probably want to give the players with high heroics a cool moment to shine. You know, it's kind of a nod that says, hey, yeah, you can do this cool thing. So because otherwise, you know, you don't want to like take their hearts and souls and like crush them and stomp on them. But you can't always have them be out of control doing crazy heroics either. So you want to, for the most part, rein it back into a manageable place based upon your player preferences, but every so often give them something. And if the hardcore, gritty, realistic people, I mean, you could just ask them to manage their encumbrance and their carrying capacity, and that would give them some gritty realism that should make them very satisfied. Probably not. So there's a couple different ways to look at it and a balance to try to strike. So I hope that's helpful. Topic of today's stream, it's a spectrum, which is true for almost everything. There's extremes, and then there's a spectrum, and then you could land anywhere in between. And there's nothing to say that any place on that spectrum is right or wrong. It's largely a matter of personal preferences. All right, Aftercare, conversations for after a really intense RP session, including what to do after PC death or TPK. This is not talked about a lot, but it could be very much, but it should be used to make sure everyone at the table is fine after. I mean, I don't know what to say. If you feel that something really crazy intense happened, either through role playing or through a TPK, have a discussion afterwards. Ask how everybody feels about that. Especially if you sense that people might be a little upset about it. If there was a TPK and you think people might be a little bit riled up about it, you could talk about it. Say, hey, how you guys doing? Are you guys okay? Do you feel like that wasn't fair or something? You know, like what's going on? Is have a conversation and talk it out. See how everybody's feeling and acknowledge their emotions, you know, and just talk about it. I don't really have any there's not a whole lot of advice you can give for that, because really all you're doing is you want people to verbalize how they're feeling so they can express it. You want to acknowledge their emotions and acknowledge how they feel. That's going to help them feel heard, and it's going to help them feel just, you know, verified as an individual. There's a special word I can't think of for it, but listening to their how they're feeling and their point of view, and then acknowledging it, you know, it just makes them feel heard and makes them feel better about themselves. You know, there's nothing, you don't even really have to have a response to it. You don't have to say anything special or fancy. You can literally just let them express themselves, and then you can mirror back what they told you to show them that you understand, you know, what they had expressed to you. It doesn't really require a whole lot. It's pretty simple listening strategy, you know, but letting people talk that out and express how they feel and stuff is going to make them feel better. It's going to help you understand them, you know, and it can help bring things that might otherwise have been a rough situation to a successful, everybody feels happy kind of thing. So it's always a good idea to do that sort of thing when you feel it's necessary, you know. Acknowledged, yeah, that might have been the word I was looking for. Acknowledged or something. Yeah. Actualized? I feel self-actualized. I have self-actualized. Aha, I am the modern man. It did not work. How do you make balanced magic items? You compare them to other existing magic items. With some exceptions, boots of flying are not uncommon, no matter what Wizards tells you. This is a big issue I've come across since 5th edition came out. After power-heavy editions and anime influences that are about god-level beings, I've had more players disappointed at their power level in game than ever before, even when they were already overpowered. Your players are morons. I don't know how else to say it. 5th edition gives more power to the classes and the races and the players than any other edition. Any other edition. You have tons of power. You don't even need magic items. The classes and the races themselves throw in feats. You are powerful. You don't even need magic items. So for players to complain that they're not powerful enough, they need to go play 1st edition. They should go play AD&D. They should go play 2nd edition. They should go play some previous editions. Then they will understand that in 5th edition, you are God and you can barely even die. It's hard to kill players. It's even harder to TPK them or anything. So if somebody's complaining that in 5th edition, you don't feel powerful enough, I don't know, they need to get some life experiences or something. I don't know. I don't know. I know. I should censor myself. Your players are morons. Ha ha ha. I don't know what to say. This is Luke's response. Your players are morons. First edition rat kills the wizard. Yes. Yes. How to encourage players to roleplay as their chosen race or class without taking away their agency. Spellcasters roleplay as a martial class and never use spells. I mean, there are two responses. There's Luke's response, which is, I don't care. It's not my character. It's their character. If they want to roll up a wizard and then they want to rush into the front lines and try to fight with their dagger or something, that's not my business. That's what they want to do. They will find out very quickly that is a bad idea because my monsters will hack them up into little pieces. That's how I would respond to that. I'd be like, you can do what you want with your character. I don't care. You know, that's your business. You want to have your wizard go to the front lines? Okay. Hack, 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 hack. Okay, now you need to make a new wizard because the wizards aren't designed to go into the front lines. Oh. Yeah, you know, by the way, if you want to play a character that goes into the front lines, might I suggest a paladin or a fighter or a barbarian? Those were all very strong, solid choices. Ah, okay. So I'm probably not even going to say anything unless, here's the caveat, unless it's causing a problem in the game for the other players. Because I have had situations where we had mostly a balanced party. We had a rogue, a wizard, a barbarian, or a fighter or something. There were 4 players. There was like a frontline type. There was a fighter. There was an archer, and there were 2 rogues. So it was mostly balanced. As long as the fighter did what fighters would do and go into the front lines. But the problem in this game was the fighter was afraid of everything, and she never wanted to go first. She had a 19 armor class, really good damage output. She was a good fighter, good solid build, and she never wanted to go first. And it was causing a legitimate problem because the other players, the archer was always going first and getting walloped on. And the 2 rogues, they were scouting sometimes ahead, but they didn't want to go first into a fight or something. And so the other players were getting walloped on. So in that situation, because that player's choices were affecting the other players and decreasing the enjoyability of their game experience, because of that and that alone, I spoke to that player, and she was also a younger player and hadn't played a whole lot before. So in that case, I explained to her, hey, listen, you know, you're a fighter, you have high armor class, it's hard to hurt you, and you have lots of hit points. If you go first and the enemies attack you, it's going to protect the rest of your party, and they're going to be able to help you kill things faster. So in that case, I made an exception, primarily for 2 reasons. 1, it was negatively affecting the rest of the group, and 2, she was a younger player, and I wanted to explain things to her. Now, if you have an adult that comes into my group, you know, they're not going to get the benefit of, oh, I'm going to explain it to you because you're a younger player or something. If they're a new player, I might give them a lowdown of it. But at the end of the day, if they've had the explanation from me or some others and they understand it, and they still choose to go do that thing that's not very good idea for their character to do, I'm not going to tell them not to. It's their choice. It's their character. They can do what they want. My monsters will still treat you the same way. If the wizard or the bard runs in front, my monsters don't care what your character sheet says. They will kill you regardless. So there's a couple different ways I've handled it before. It really depends on the situation. It depends on how it's affecting the group. It depends on the individual player. Sometimes I'll talk to them. Sometimes, you know, other times it'll just be like, okay, whatever you want to do. Wee. But it really depends. You can always talk to them and have a conversation with them. There's probably never going to be any harm with having a conversation with them. But after that happens, it's up to them and they got to do their thing. If that means running in front when they shouldn't and getting slashed up, well, that's what it means. All right. How do you run an adventure for a group that doesn't really like combat? Find a game that isn't D&D. D&D is a combat game. It is at its core a war game. It is what it's based on. 90% of the rules are around combat. So if your group doesn't like combat, may I suggest Dungeons and Dragons might not be the correct game system for you. If you don't want combat, there are lots of other game systems, which I don't really play because I love combat, but there are lots of other game systems that are probably better for your group. Dungeons and Dragons is not an end-all be-all. It doesn't accommodate, it can accommodate that play type, but it is probably not the most optimal. There are probably better systems out there for your group. So my first suggestion to you is find a different game system, because you're probably going to find a game system that makes non-combat stuff more enjoyable and better than Dungeons and Dragons does, because Dungeons and Dragons at its core is a combat game. It is. Look at the rules. 90% of the rules are about combat. 90% of the character sheet is about combat. There's an entire rule book, the monster manual, that has combat stats. So the first suggestion is to find a different game, more than likely. And if they don't like combat in their adventures, then you simply create adventures that don't have combat. I don't know how else to put it. Like, I don't have any mind-blowing advice here. If your group doesn't like combat, create adventures that don't have combat. So it's going to be social situations, social interactions. It's going to be exploration. You're just not going to have that element of combat. Or combat doesn't happen very often. You just, if your group doesn't like combat, you just don't put combat into your games. Now, if you like combat, then you have a problem. Because I love combat. I love combat. Hardcore, if I had a group of players that did not want to do any combat at all, I don't think I could run a game for them. I would be at an impasse. I would probably be like, you know, guys, this is not a good fit. I am the wrong dungeon master for you. I love combat, and I probably am not going to be able to run a game without combat. So there are 5 of you. I suggest that one of you becomes the dungeon master and you guys run a game without combat. I'm going to go find other players who like combat, because that's the game I want to run. Like, I can't saddle myself up in a game that I'm going to be miserable running. You know, it's not a good fit for me, and it's not a good fit for them. If I'm not having fun doing it, I'm not going to do a good job at it, and they're probably not going to enjoy themselves. So it's bad for them, it's bad for me. So I would look for different players if my players were like that. So part of the question here is, what do you like? You know, is this a good fit for you? Do you want to run that game for them? Because if you don't, then you got to think about that. So there's another thing to think about too in that scenario. If Luke had a table of people wanting puzzles, well, here's the thing. I might not be good at making puzzles, but I can run puzzles. I just go out and use them. Like, Layer Magazine has puzzles. Like, if I wanted to put puzzles in my game, I would literally go to my own magazine and I would use some of those puzzles. Like Ed, who's in the stream, made lots of puzzles that were really cool. Who was the other one? Spyro made a bunch of puzzles that we had in an issue that were really, really cool. So I would just go use those puzzles in my game, and they were awesome. So I would use those. If I wanted to put mysteries in my game, I would just go to Candlekeep Mysteries and I would grab one of those adventures and I would put them into my game. So just because I'm not very good at something doesn't mean that I can't put it in my game and run it. It just means that I need help creating it. Yeah, Spyro's puzzles were really cool too. Both Ed's and Spyro's were amazing. They were both really, really good. We're actually going to be doing puzzles in an upcoming issue of Layer Magazine, and I think we're gonna have. I was thinking of having Spyro do them, but I don't know. I got to talk with Danny, and we got to figure something out. Goliath Cleric says, what is the point that you look at an encounter and think to yourself, this is too deadly. I can't run this encounter. My friend, there is no such point. There is no such point. The only question is, at what point do I need to warn my players first? That's really the only question. I will put any encounter in the game, no matter how deadly it is. The real question is, do my players need a warning first? Do they need clues that this is something they shouldn't trifle with? Or is it something they might survive and they're not getting any clues? Because if they might survive it, then you're not getting any clues. But if it's something so overwhelmingly powerful that they are going to die and there's nothing they can do about it, theoretically, then I'm going to give them little tiny warnings and hints that they should probably run away or use social interaction skills to bypass this encounter. That's really the only question, in my opinion. Luke has yet to find that threshold. I don't know. My Ancient Dragon group ran into an encounter that was very, very powerful, and they beat it just barely, and one of them died. The Live Cleric says, Ancient Dragon plus Abishai versus level 8 PCs. It wasn't an Ancient Dragon, it was only an Adult Dragon. Versus level 8 PCs didn't require a warning that I noticed, unless it was just really good RP. Goliath Cleric, are you seriously telling me that a massive dragon and 2 Abishai aren't warning enough? That's not warning enough. If that's not warning enough, then yeah, I don't know how to give warnings, I guess. It's like, hello, I'm a massive dragon. I will melt your face off. And by the way, I have friends. Like, the dungeon master has to be like, to make it obvious. All right, that's awesome. My players are far too afraid of everything. I have an encounter they're able to finish. They find a magic axe. They ask the guard if they can get help and get a temporary magic sword, and they are still too afraid to go in. At some point, they pressured themselves in, but still forgot the I had my youngling players were like this. My youngling players were literally like this. They were afraid to go anywhere. They were afraid to open doors. They were afraid to go into dungeons. When we first started playing, they were afraid to do those things because they were afraid of dying all the time. I literally sat them down. That's its expression. I literally sat them down and I explained to them, listen, you guys, listen. The game is designed for you to win. It's designed for you to be able to win. You will win 95% of the time. And 5% of the time, somebody will probably die. And then you're going to be able to go raise them from the dead, almost assuredly. This game is balanced. The adventures are balanced for you to win. Because this game is a heroic fantasy game. Heroic fantasy games, the heroes usually win. They almost always win. That is how the game is designed. Or at least I should say that's how I run the game. Different dungeon masters will do a different thing. But in the game you're playing, it's designed for you to be able to win. So you don't need to be afraid of every little thing. It's okay. You're gonna win most of the time. As long as you don't do anything stupid, as long as you use your brains, as long as you don't, just totally just be like, let's fight an ancient dragon with 2 Abishai. Whee! As long as you don't do stuff like that, then you're probably gonna be okay. So use your brains, use your ingenuity, be cautious when it's needed. But if you play intelligently and don't just totally do moronic stuff, the game is designed to be winnable. So having that conversation is okay with a group that is totally timid and afraid to do everything. And I feel like once they understand that, that's probably going to reassure them a little bit. Now, will it take a little bit of the drama and the tension out of the game? Will it deplete that a little bit? Yeah, it probably will. Will that kind of maybe ruin the game experience a little bit? Maybe. But if you're at the point where they're afraid to do everything, it's probably time for that conversation. So that's probably what I would do. How do I handle dumb player characters? Low intelligence as a DM. When there are several of them in a party acting in character, preventing any progress by making stupid decisions. Talk to your players. Explain the issue with them and ask them to help you. That's what you do. That's what you do. Your players are responsible for role-playing their characters. If the manner in which they're role-playing their characters is negatively affecting the game, then it's time to talk to them. And that is blanket advice for any situation. In this case, they're role-playing their characters like morons, and that's impeding the progression of the game. It's negatively affecting the game, at least from your point of view. Who knows what their point of view is, but at least from your point of view, it's negatively affecting the game. So, time to talk to them. Anytime they're doing something that's negatively impacting the game, it's time to talk to your players. This is blanket advice that can apply in pretty much any situation at all. And it would definitely apply in that one. You speak with them, you explain what the problem is, you explain why it's a problem, the impact that it's having, and then you ask them, hey, how can we do this? What can we do? You don't have to push a solution on them. You don't have to dictate what they do. You don't have to tell them, stop doing this, start doing this. Don't do any of that. They won't own the solution. You want them to own the solution. You want them to help you solve the issue. You're not going to tell them what to do. You're not going to take their agency away. You're not going to give them commands. You explain what the situation is. You explain what you're running into, and then you ask them, guys, what can we do? Because I feel like this is negatively impacting the game. And then they can be partners with you in deciding what the solution is going to be. And when they are involved in the solutioning process, they're going to own it more, and they're going to be more committed to following through with it. So this is like leadership 101, right? Let them own the decision, let them be part of it. Therefore, they have more desire to actually do it, as opposed to if you just told them something. It's the same reason that when something is overpowered in the game, and I think a nerf is in order, I don't just tell the player what's going to happen. I usually will ask the player, I will explain to the player, this thing is overpowered, this is the problem it's causing. What do you think we should do? And the player will propose some ideas to me. Usually, one of those ideas is good enough, and I'll pick that. And then the player will feel like he was involved in the process, and he will feel much better about that nerf than if I had just told him this is what we're doing. So you always want to try to involve the player in decisions like that. In general, for most things, it's always a good thing to do. Things will turn out better that way. Trying to fly through these questions just quickly here. Yes, the easiest way to get someone to do what you want them to do is to have them come up with the idea themselves. Yes. Yes. Here's another psychological trick for you. The power of choice. The power of choice. When people are given a choice between a few different alternatives, their brain activity lights up and they become more interested in it. So if you say, for instance, let's pretend you got a kid and you want the kid to do some chores around the house. This is what you do. Instead of saying, hey, go wash the dishes, you give them a choice. Hey, you know what? Today I would like you to either clean your room or go wash the dishes. It's your choice. You pick which one you want to do. I'll go wash the dishes. Why? Because their room's a mess. They don't want to clean their room. It's so much better to go wash the dishes, and they're gonna feel a little bit happier. I didn't have to clean my room. Woo! And they go wash the dishes for you. Meanwhile, dad is like, hey, I didn't want you to clean your room. I wanted you to wash the dishes, but I gave you a choice, and you chose the one that I really wanted you to do, and you felt better about it because you didn't have to clean your room. Now, if she had chosen to clean her room, I would have still been happy, but she wouldn't, because I knew I knew she would choose the path of less resistance. So give people the power of choice when you can as well. And then that is also going to help you to involve people, give them options and stuff, but make them feel like they own it more and they're happier about it, as opposed to being dictated what to do. So other little psychological trick you can use right there. The starter DM says, you are describing my life as a special education teacher. Facepalm. DMing is terrifyingly like my day job. Well, I also run a business, and I study business management principles. I study, managing people. I study a lot of these different types of things, and these are all skills and things, that you use, in that sort of thing. So yeah, it's just like, it's psychology. It's good stuff. It's all fun. Adara says, that's how I get hubby to do stuff. You're giving away the secrets and he's watching. Oh dear. Adara's husband. I highly suggest that you still do what your wife asked you to do, because it will be overall in your good interest to keep her happy and do the things she wants you to do. So disregard everything that I just spoke about and do what she wants you to do. Brought to you by Acquisitions Incorporated. Yes. What was I? Where was I? I was answering questions. Happy wife, happy life. Yes. That is a good answer. Ed says, I can confirm that Luke is an excellent boss from a leadership perspective. Why, thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. Now, just so long as Danny doesn't opine, because Danny is going to be like, he's a slave driver. He's a slave driver. I'm overworked. I'm underpaid. It's horrible. You guys are cute. Who's that? The husband and answer? The husband and wife that are on here? Oh, Fox is the husband. Oh, nice. That's cool. How do I deal with players that take things happening in game and use it out of context in outside of the game? Luke doesn't understand the question. If you're still here, if you can rephrase that and throw it in and my mods will let me see it, I would appreciate that. Because Luke no comprendo. How do I deal with two players who in a session let the rest of the party continue the quest while they roleplay in a tavern? Ask them if they want to play the game. Did you guys come here to play D&D? You want to play D&D? Because if you don't want to play D&D, we can get some new players, or you guys could go role play by yourselves somewhere. You want to go with the group? I run group games, or I don't know. You talk to them, dude. You talk to them, man. There are two things I make very clear to my players in all of my games, and I've said this a bajillion times. One, roll up a character who wants to be an adventurer. You're not a blacksmith. You are not a merchant. You are not a cobbler. You are an adventurer. Roll up a character who wants to go on adventures. That's the first thing. Have it be in your personality traits. Have it be in your backstory. I don't care where you put it, but your character needs to want to go on adventures. Otherwise, they have no place in this game, and you should roll up a new character. Number two, you need to have a reason to stay with the group. In most cases, there's occasionally a time when you might go out by yourself. The rogue might scout ahead. Yes, I get it. But for the most part, you need to have a reason to stay with the group, because I run group games. I am not running two games simultaneously because you want to be the edgelord lone ranger over there, antisocial. I don't care. Okay, so you want to be an adventurer and you want to stay with the group. Those are the two requirements for your character. Beyond that, I kind of don't care. Because if you have those two things as requirements, you will avoid a lot of issues as a dungeon master. Lots of them. So, two requirements. So these buddy boys here, your two dudes in the tavern, are breaking both of those rules. They're not going on adventures and they're not staying with the group. So I would be having a conversation with them and explaining why that causes a problem in the game, and then asking them to either, if it's because that's what my character would do, then I would ask them to roll up new characters that actually want to go on adventures and stay with the group. If they just say that, that's the part of the game they enjoy, then they might not be a good fit for your gaming group. I don't know. But the point is, you got to have a conversation. You got to try to work that out. You got to try to come to an agreement where people stay together and you play the game together. If I were running a game and 2 players wanted to stay back and be in a tavern and have a conversation while everybody else went on the adventure, this is probably what I would do. I would run that adventure over the course of 3-hour gaming session, 3.5 hours, whatever it is. I would not swap back to the tavern. At the end of the game, I would give them 5 minutes. Okay, explain to the group what you discussed in the tavern. What kind of things were you talking about and stuff? You got 5 minutes. Let's do this. What do you mean we got 5 minutes? Yeah, because the game is the adventure. That's the game I'm running. You guys didn't want to go play the game, so you tell me what happened in the tavern. That's probably what I would do. But I would probably tell them in advance. I would tell them before everybody left. I'd be like, hey guys, listen, this is how we're gonna do this. I'm running this adventure. You guys are staying in the tavern. So at the end of the game session, you guys can give us a recap of what happened in the tavern. But we're running the adventure. You're welcome to stay back, but you won't be doing a whole lot of playing tonight. Probably what I would do, because I'm a cold, heartless jerk, I suppose. I just don't have tolerance for that stuff. Don't have tolerance for players like that. Yeah, Mr. Gorks, exactly. You DM for the group that went on the adventure. Leave the dudes in the bar. Yeah. Players who do stuff like that are intentionally giving you the middle finger. They are. They know what they're doing. They're intentionally saying screw you. They are. So I just don't, there is no compassion in my heart for that. I'm sorry. There's no compassion in my heart. So I'm cold, heartless. I'm cold and heartless. What are you gonna do? Thank you for teaching me to be heartless. Well, you don't want to be totally heartless. You want to talk with them. You want to explain to them how it's going to be. You want to have a conversation with them. You can be strict and run a game a certain way, but also be nice to your players. You can be a nice human being and be a very pleasant person, but also be very strict about the way that you're going to run a game and have very clear standards and very clear rules. I have very clear standards and rules in my games, but I like to think that I'm a very nice dude and I treat my players very nicely and respectfully, and I'm very friendly and happy to be around, you know what I mean? So you can be both. You don't have to be totally wishy-washy to be a nice person. You can be both strict and have rules that need to be followed, but also be very nice and pleasant. You can do both, you know? So that's kind of what I'm promoting, if that makes sense. Is it possible to do a no magic world in D&D? Sure, take all the spells out and stuff. The problem is that most of your classes get invalidated. Like, they get stripped of all of their power and stuff. You would have to homebrew everything. You would have to really remake some stuff. You'd have to do some heavy lifting to figure that out. Unless everybody was like a fighter and a rogue, almost every other class would need some work to make them anywhere near balanced. No wizards, clerics, warlocks, everything else is thrown out. So your players would basically get to be fighters or rogues. They have very little magical stuff at all. Everything else has magic in it, you know? If you want to run a no magic game, I think you probably want to find a different game system. Dungeons and Dragons is probably not the right game system. Find a game system that has low magic or no magic, and that's probably going to be a better game system. That's my gut response to that, because you'd have to do so much rework and there'd be so few options for people. The game is really not balanced or made for that, for a zero magic option. What was the rest of the question? My players wish for my homebrew to stay as close to D&D rules as possible. Yeah, I feel like most players want that. No player wants to walk into a game and get a binder that thick with homebrew rules. They just don't. They don't. But my current world is low to no magic world. You gotta run a different game. I don't know, dude. It's the balance, you know, running the game that you want to run, which is the low balance, no magic world, the low magic, no magic world. That's what you want to run, which is a fair desire. And your players want to play with the D&D rules because that's what they're used to. So, geez, man, it almost seems like if you just use a different rule system that doesn't have a bunch of magic in it, then that might be easier. Because otherwise, they're used to D&D and they're like, magic! And then it's like no magic, and it's like, you know, you don't have their buy-in is the problem, right? You don't really have their consent and buy-in. That's not the game they want to play, you know, but it's the game you want to play. And so there's a misalignment of expectations, and that's going to be a point of conflict, you know. I don't know if there's a super easy solution to that besides finding players that are okay with a low magic world. My Curse of Strahd players are ignoring Strahd's invitation. How do you think Strahd would react? What would he do? My Curse of Strahd players ignored Strahd's invitation. Strahd does not get ignored in his world. He does not get ignored. Strahd paid my players a visit of his own. He arrived in his own coach, escorted by a bunch of vampires. He arrived in power. He opened up a magical portal and he says, get through there. You're going to Castle Ravenloft to dine with me. He does not take no for an answer. He did not give them a choice. They refused him once and then he said, get through there now. And then when they went to Castle Ravenloft to dine with him, they had a conversation, and to taunt them, there was lots of things that were said, but one of the things that he did to show them that he was in control, that he had absolute power, and that the players could do nothing, he brought out Gertrude. Gertrude is Mad Mary's daughter, who Strahd had abducted and now has in Castle Ravenloft. So he brought out Gertrude. Maybe it might be Gertruda. But anyway, he brought out Gertrude and he literally bit her neck and drank her blood in front of my players. And they knew that she was an innocent that was having her blood drank in front of them. And he did it to taunt them, but he also did it to show them that I am in control here. You are powerless and you will do nothing, will you? And my players, they were like level 3 or 4 at this point. They did nothing. They sat there and they watched Strahd drink her blood. One of the players stole one of Strahd's chairs. that was his passive aggressive response. It's like, okay, maybe we can't stop you from drinking her blood, but I'm taking your chair. So that is what I had Strahd do. And the next time Strahd wanted to talk to them, they were traveling along and the fog closed in upon them. And then no matter which way they went, there was Strahd in a tent waiting to dine with them. And then he had another conversation with them. And again, flaunted his power, you know, ignored their petty threats, you know, laughed them away, saying that, oh, you have backbone, you have gumption. And then he gave them boons. He gave them magical boons because they were doing things in the game world that were helping him, helping his end goals, and they didn't even know it. So those are some of the encounters my players have had with Strahd. He does not take no. Nobody tells Strahd no. And if you do, he shows you who's boss. Where did they put the chair? They put the chair like in the middle of the street. Just left it in the street. It was Meridon. He like took the chair and he left it in the street. Is it Gertruda? Okay, thank you. Awesome. That's beautiful. Where? All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do our finish up our giveaway now. Tonight's stream has been sponsored by RPG Sounds. RPG Sounds is audio software that you can get for free on Steam. There's a link to the giveaway right there, and there's a link to RPG Sounds on Steam. You can download it. You can get it for absolutely for free. You can if you have your own music and sound effects, you can import it and use your own stuff, or it has downloadable content that is available too if you want to get professionally produced music and sound effects. So it's a very cool program. My Danny has been using it for years, and she says it's super cool. There's an app available. There is a sound room. There's an audio room that your players can join so that they can actually hear the sound effects if you're playing online and stuff like that. So the giveaway, sign up for the giveaway. 5 people are going to win 10 downloadable content codes. So you're 5 people are going to get $50 worth of downloadable content codes, basically. And it's pretty cool music and sound effects, you guys. So sign up for that giveaway. This is your last opportunity. I don't think Dan wins again. We're gonna have problems here. So hopefully Dan doesn't win. All right, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna pull a winner. So go sign up. It's pretty easy. No purchase required. All right. Here we go. Here we go. You guys all sign up? Have you signed up? You good to go? Do you need a few moments to think? Finish up? All right. We're drawing the winners. I'm drawing the winners. Goliath Cleric. They never win anything. Boom. Drawing. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready? Winner number 1, Dario L from the UK, it looks like. Winner number 2, Brian L from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Hey, I'm from Michigan. Winner number 3, Miguel L from the USA. Amanda W from Colorado. Amanda W from Colorado. And then James P, also from Colorado. So I will be sending you folks some emails with the downloadable content codes in them. So I will be hooking you up soon. And we are going to raid somebody. So let me go to Twitch and we shall raid somebody tonight. All right, here we go. All right, let us go through and find somebody to raid. I always see myself. I'm like, I wonder what'll happen if I raid myself. One of these days I'm gonna try raiding myself. And we're gonna see what happens. Ooh, it's a very special one shot. Look at that. Nope, they have too many viewers. I want to find somebody with not that many viewers. Let's go down the list a little bit. Ooh. Oh, Counterspell. I've rated those guys quite a bit. Dun 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 dun. Voice acting. Ooh, voice acting. Good gravy. Let's see. Ooh, what's this one? 6. Oh, look at these guys. Curse of Strahd. Oh, look at this. D&D Curse of Strahd. They have 6 viewers. They're live. We are going to raid these guys right here. 𝐑𝐄𝐒𝐄𝐒. Kaizo. Okay, we're going to do these guys right here. Kaizo. All right, let me get this set up. Raid channel. And we're going to do 𝐑𝐄𝐒𝐄𝐒. All right, there we go. All right, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hop into the raid. Oh, get in the raid. And then I will see you all later. Tomorrow, Friday. All right, bye guys. It's fun.